Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you 2 days before the Premier League returns and the international break finally is over. It's felt like an age, isn't it? This international break seems to have gone on and on and on. So many games, but now we can start turning our attentions to the Premier League. So I thought I'd pop on here, just go through a few things that are doing the rounds when it comes to Arsenal at the moment. A little bit of news, a little bit of my take on some of the rumours that are doing around. Transfer rumours already beginning to hot up and we're not even in December yet. Also look ahead to Leeds team news and yeah, just talk about Arsenal for the next 10-15 minutes or so, and then we'll be back with you tomorrow for another video because Mikel Arteta will be sitting down to speak to us during his press conference, which comes bright and early tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock on Monday morning. Mikel Arteta will be sitting down to face us all and discuss that game against Leeds. So I have another video tomorrow reporting on everything he had to say on that. So let's get cracking, shall we? Let's start with more bad news for Arsenal, for Mikel Arteta, and more importantly for Kolasinac, who we all, I'm sure, are hoping is okay after he was revealed yesterday he has tested positive for coronavirus. The second Arsenal player to test positive during this international break. Kolasinac has been away with Bosnia. They were due to play Italy, well, they did play Italy yesterday, and before that game, Kolasinac had a coronavirus test and it was positive. So he didn't play in that game. He's now in self-isolation, and Arsenal are in contact with him. They're in contact with his Bosnian FA, they're in contact with Siad's agent. They're trying to get a full picture of exactly what has gone on in terms of the tests, the results when they came, and they're trying to work out how they can get him back to this country. It's a similar situation with Mohamed Elneny, who gave another positive test yesterday. The Egyptian FA announced that he's still testing positive. He's still in Cairo, and Arsenal haven't been able to get him back to the UK yet. So both players are certainly going to miss this weekend's game. You have to think they're massive doubts for the match next Thursday in the Europa League away at Molde as well. So far from ideal for Arsenal in this one. I mean, Mikel Arteta has spoken before the international break. He's raised his concerns about this. So have other managers. You kind of do all you can to keep the players in this protective bubble in their Premier League clubs. No one can get in. That's the whole idea. No one can bring the virus in. And then as soon as the international break comes, players just head off across Europe, across the world, and just so many going down with it. Now, Lucas Torreira as well, obviously on loan at Atletico Madrid. Now he's tested positive during this international break while he was away with Uruguay. So is Luis Suarez, who's now going to miss Atletico Madrid's game against Barcelona this weekend. Just so many players have gone down with it, and 2 from Arsenal so far. Fingers crossed that's all we hear of, but at the moment 2 have gone down, and I wouldn't rule out more because it's just the way this virus works. So Mohamed Elneny, Kolasinac, both in self-isolation at the moment, both not in the country, and both certainly out of Arsenal's game against Leeds. And I'm sure you join me in all in wishing both players well, and hopefully they get back to full fitness, full health very quickly, beat this horrible virus, and can get back to training with the Arsenal squad and back in this country as soon as possible. I just wanted to talk on a few other transfer rumours that are doing around now. And I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys on social media and on some of the YouTube comments as well. Christian Eriksen, to start with, suddenly being linked with Arsenal. Christian Eriksen as a possible swap deal with Granit Xhaka. Now, a fair few of you have been sort of getting in contact saying, is there any truth in this? Some of you are excited about the potential rumours. Now, I have to say, it's a tough one for me to, in terms of, is there any truth in it? I can't say. I haven't heard anything to suggest that there is any truth in these rumours. That's not to say there isn't, but I certainly haven't heard anything myself. In terms of my opinion on the situation, I'm not sure Christian Eriksen is a man. Yes, Arsenal need a bit of more creativity at the moment, and I think Eriksen was very good at Tottenham, but he's been on a bit of a downward spiral for a while now. He wasn't great in his last year at Spurs. He's not set the world alight into Milan. I'm not quite sure he's the sort of player that Arsenal should be targeting, and I'm not sure if they are targeting. Like I say, I've spoken before about their interest in Dominik Szoboszlai. There's definitely interest in him. At Salzburg, Houssem Aouar, we know all about how close Arsenal came to signing him last summer. That interest isn't going to disappear. That interest is still there. But in terms of Eriksen, I certainly haven't heard that there is interest in him. All I'm going on is these rumours. And so, as far as all the questions that you're sending my way about Eriksen, whether that could be happening, is tough for me to say. But I doubt. I can't see it. It's just, for me, given what I know about Arsenal's transfer plans this summer, what the sort of players they're targeting, it just doesn't really fit the bill. A 28-year-old in Eriksen who's been off the boil for a while now. Not exactly what you call a high-intensity pressing type player, the player that Mikel Arteta clearly loves. I mean, the whole reason Mesut Ozil's not in the side mainly, and I know a lot of you have your conspiracy theories about it, but mainly, and I have to go on what Mikel Arteta tells us, and from what I hear about, is he doesn't really fit the bill, the type of player that Mikel Arteta wants in his side. Now, Christian Eriksen is fairly similar in that regard, in terms of how he approaches games, and a quality player, undoubtedly, makes things happen, scores goals, sets up goals, but he's not someone who's going to massively, press and try and win the ball back. So I'm not sure he fits in to it. Obviously, he's unhappy at Inter Milan. He said it in the quotes recently. He said, "This isn't what I dreamed of. All players want to play as much as possible, but the coach decides who gets to go on the pitch. It's a strange situation as the fans want to see me playing more, and so would I. But the coach has different ideas, and as a player, I have to respect that." He's also said that you have to see what happens when the transfer window opens. So Eriksen clearly, looking at a potential move away from the San Siro already. But in terms of Arsenal, for me, I'm not sure. I don't see it. And I'm not sure about a swap with Granit Xhaka either. So I just, in terms of my journalistic hunch on this one, and from the information that I do have, it just doesn't really fit the bill in terms of what I think Arsenal are going to be looking at when it comes to the transfer market. But I'm not talking about January, I'm talking about more for next summer, to be honest. So I'm not sure. And there's the Isco rumours as well. I mean, these ones, again, I've had so many questions about it, and it's a similar situation to Eriksen. I've certainly not heard anything to suggest Arsenal are really looking at Isco. And even the reports and the rumours that are being, bandied around on social media, and the stories that are being written about it aren't saying that Arsenal are interested. It's more saying that Real Madrid are hoping that Arsenal become interested and try and almost push up the price for Isco, who it looks like they're quite happy to move on, be it in January or in the summer. So I've not seen anything of any substance from a media outlet even saying that Arsenal want to sign Isco. It's more that Real Madrid are hoping to get Arsenal involved, if you see what I mean, in a bidding process. I've seen Everton have been linked. I think Carlo Ancelotti's even spoken about Isco. But in terms of Arsenal, I'm not sure. I certainly haven't heard anything on Isco, and I've not even seen anything in the media to suggest there is genuine interest from Arsenal in Isco. So I wouldn't be getting too excited about that. Again, he's 28 as well. His contract is until 2022, so he's still got 2 years left at Real Madrid. Real desperately need some money. They need to move some players on so they can start bringing some more players in. Obviously, didn't sign anyone this summer because of the COVID situation and the financial implications that is going on at the Bernabeu at the moment. So they need to get money in, and I'm sure they would like to get Isco out because he's not a regular under Zidane. But I'm not sure that Isco will be coming to Arsenal. Like I said, for me, the two targets I certainly know they are interested in is Dominic Szoboszlai at Salzburg and Houssem Aouar at Lyon. Now, that's not a secret. We all know that. I've spoken about it on videos before. Szoboszlai, the cheaper option, with his release clause. There is the issue of Leipzig hovering in the background. We know how clubs, between the two Red Bull clubs, how many players make that move from Salzburg to Leipzig. I'd still imagine that's probably the most likely scenario, but he does have a release clause, so that kind of opens it up to everyone in some regard. And Arsenal certainly very much admirers of Szoboszlai. Is a player they've watched extensively for a fair while, as of most of Europe, because he's a very exciting young talent, and he's certainly showing that this season at international level, at Champions League level, and at domestic level. So he's a very interesting player. He's one that certainly is catching the attention of everyone at the moment. Lots of talk about Arsenal with him, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. As I've said before, I still think, I'm not saying it's not going to happen in terms of Arsenal making any big moves in January, but I just still think it looks more unlikely to me that it will be January. I think if Arsenal are going to spend big money again, they're probably going to have to wait until the summer, given the financial layout last summer with Thomas Partey, with Gabriel, the money laid down for Willian. I just think going big again in the January transfer market with all this going on with COVID still, and fans still not being allowed into the stadium, it just feels a little bit unlikely to me. I think you're going to have to wait until the summer for Arsenal to make any serious moves in the transfer market again. I'd be surprised if the January transfer market on a whole, and I'm not just talking about Arsenal, is a very busy one. I think clubs are going to have to be watching their money very, very closely this year. A little bit on Bukayo Saka, another fantastic performance last night. What a player he is, what a talent he is. Absolutely brilliant for England against Iceland, albeit an Iceland side that were pretty bang average. But Saka, I just love the way he's so fearless. Nothing phases him, no matter where he plays, no matter what level it's at in domestic Europa League, Premier League, cup competitions, international level. He just steps up and does the job. Just for a kid his age and still relative lack of experience, it's so impressive. He's such a wonderful talent, fantastic. Just a fantastic product to come from the Hale End Academy. Shows the brilliant work that's being done at Hale End. Arsenal very, very lucky to have him. I thought he was brilliant last night. It was another 90 minutes for him though. That's 3 games he's played during this international break now in the space of about 6 days, I think it is. I'm pretty sure maybe Jack Grealish is the only player who played more for England during that international break. I'm not sure how well that will go down with Mikel Arteta, given how regular Saka is in the Arsenal side at the moment. He probably would have liked to have seen his teenager given a little bit more time off during the international break. Tierney as well played the full 90 minutes again yesterday. He's played all the games for Scotland. We had the Aubameyang situation at the airport in Gambia, having a sleep a night on the floor there, or he didn't even sleep. Obviously got the COVID issue at Elneny and Kolasinac. So this international break has been a bit of horror for Mikel Arteta, really. He'll be delighted to finally get his players back to London Colney in the next day or so, and just put this international break behind him and try and hope patch his players up and get them out to play against Leeds on Sunday, because they're not going to be in a great state, I imagine, when Arsenal travel to Elland Road. And when you look at Leeds, haven't lost that many, I don't think, to international during this international break, and they've had a good little rest up ahead of this one, and we know the intensity that Leeds play with, so I'm expecting it's going to be a really tricky game for Arsenal at Elland Road on Sunday night. In terms of that match, in terms of the team news, I mean, like I've said with Elneny and Kolasinac, we know that those two are definitely going to miss out because of what's going on. They're not even in the country and they've tested positive, so they're certainly not going to be involved at Elland Road on Sunday. Thomas Partey, I've spoken about before. As far as I'm aware, he's hopeful that he might be able to make the squad after that injury sustained in a defeat at Aston Villa just before the international break. He doesn't think it's too bad. He's hopeful he'll make the squad, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Mikel Arteta, like I said, will be speaking to us at his press conference tomorrow morning, Friday morning at 9 a.m, and he'll be able to deliver a much better update in terms of Thomas Partey, and I'm sure Arsenal will probably put out an official team news statement ahead of that game as well and ahead of that press conference, so it won't be too long for us to wait to find out exactly what Arsenal have to say about Thomas Partey. But the word is from people that I know that are close to him is that he's feeling fairly positive and he doesn't think it's too serious an injury. He's hopeful of making the squad for Sunday, but if he doesn't, then he doesn't expect to be out for too much longer than just that game. Given what's going on with Elneny at the moment, Arsenal really need Thomas Partey to be fit. That would be very, very helpful for them indeed. So we'll have to wait and see. Reiss Nelson, obviously he missed the recent games because of an injury, but he has been back training, so it looks like Nelson is all right and will be available. Chambers played in the EFL Trophy match, but he's been out for a year. He's not going to be considered for the Premier League just yet. Arsenal are going to ease him back in. Aubameyang, we know about his night at the airport. He'll be returning. Well, he flew home yesterday, so Arsenal will be assessing him to see just how okay he is. But I fully expect Aubameyang to start at Elland Road, providing there isn't any injury with him. Pablo Mari as well, he's closing in on a return, not quite fit yet. So that's the Arsenal team news. In terms of Leeds have looks like they might get a little bit of a boost when it comes to team news ahead of that game on Sunday. Rodrigo has missed the last couple of games with COVID, but he is now back training with Leeds. He posted a picture on his social media earlier in the week saying he's heading back to work and was putting his boots on, so you'd expect Rodrigo is going to be available. He's missed their last 2 defeats, and Calvin Phillips as well, very, very important player for them. He's had a shoulder injury. I think he's missed the last 3 games, but he is back. He's been back in light training and is hopeful of also making the squad for the Arsenal game. So that'll be a big boost for Leeds, 2 important players for them. Obviously, Rodrigo came in at big money in the summer, and Calvin Phillips, England international, we know how important he is to that Leeds side. So that'll be a big boost for them, and it will sort of hasten. I think if Phillips plays in the Leeds midfield, you certainly want Thomas Partey playing in the Arsenal midfield, given there's going to be no Mohamed Elneny. So quite a bit to work out on in terms of team news for Arsenal. We should know certainly more, get a clearer picture of it in the next 24 hours after that statement that Arsenal will release, and also after our chat with Mikel Arteta, which, like I said, that will come at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And once that's out of the way, and once I've posted any stories that I need to post from it, I will pop on here and do another video, just update you on exactly what Mikel Arteta had to say. Thank you very much for watching today, everyone. Please do head over and have a look at my social media channels. I'm on Twitter at Charles_Watts. You can find me on Facebook as well, and I will be building up with all the usual stuff ahead of that match on Leeds on Sunday. And obviously all my Arsenal stuff you can find on goal.com. So please do visit the website and have a look and fill all your needs when it comes to Arsenal right there. Thank you for watching, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a very good day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.